different ways when creating a tie-dye project in which you can fold your project and tie it to create different effects. So what I want to show you first is a few different ways that you can tie your project to achieve these effects, and then you can choose which ones you'd like to use on each of your different pieces. Now I'm going to show you all on a square bandana, but all of these can be achieved on various other textiles as well. I'll just make it easy and show you on a bandana first. Something to also note is when using the Aquatex fabric dyes, which we will be using for our tie dyeing, we start with a damp fabric. So this bandana has been wet down and then we've just squeezed out the excess water. So the spiral, to achieve the spiral effect where you'll see the colours spiraling out from the centre, all we need to do is pinch the centre of our fabric and we begin to twist. And as we do this, the damp fabric is going to move its way inwards and create its own spiral. As we get to the end, we'll just help that one spiral around like so. And now all we need to do is take our rubber bands and tie them across the middle of the spiral. So you can pop as many rubber bands on your spiral as you like. Using one rubber band means you've got two sections. So we'll just continue dividing. Something like this bandana, you could probably take it to 3 rubber bands, breaking it up into 6 different coloured sections. But that's totally up to you, whatever you feel you'd like to get done. And that's it. So once it's all tied up, then you just go through and dye each of your sections as you like, and you should end up with a beautiful spiral. Horizontal, vertical and diagonal patterns are all achieved in basically the same fashion, and they're all very easy. So say we wanted to create horizontal lines. These are going to be created by the bands themselves being wrapped around. So what we actually want to do is fold our bandana up from side to side, and then we just want to wrap our rubber bands down the length. Again, tie on as many rubber bands as you like. Basically, you're just sectioning the material off. So if you have a certain amount of colours you wish to use, you might want a specific amount of sections. So just continue all the way down. And that's how you will create your horizontal lines. So to create your vertical lines, we use the same process, except this time instead of folding up your material from side to side, you're going to do it top to bottom, and then we'll place each of the elastic bands along the fabric this way. And again, to create diagonal lines, we want to fold the material corner to corner, and then run the elastic bands down the length that way. So nice and simple technique, that one. Another easy tying technique to achieve cool results is a circle burst pattern. So that's when you have a circle in the center coming outwards around your design. And to create that, all we need to do is pinch the center of our fabric, bringing it up, and then we just tie the rubber bands down the length. So we'd continue to tie bands down the length like so. But if you wanted to create lots of circle bursts all over your project, you can simply pinch individual sections and tie your rubber band around each one. And this will give you almost like a polka dot look. Now you could dye each of these little end pieces a different color, or you might just want to dye the whole thing as one color. And then you'll have the white resist circles where your rubber bands are. The final tying technique I'm going to show you is if you want to do a shape. So if you fold your material in half, we can draw on a simple shape. Now this works best if the shape is symmetrical. So let's take a love heart for example. And all we do is sketch on half of a love heart. And then we need to gather the material along this sketched line. So all we do is bring it up. It's easy if you keep your fingers pinched tightly either side of that line. You can keep the material nice and aligned as you bunch it up, following that pencil line. Until you get to the end. So there we have our pencil line running straight. And what we can do now is tie our rubber band along that line. And then we just bunch the rest of the material together and continue to tie bands down the length of it. Again, you can section this off as many times as you like. And then all that's left to do is use the die on your different sections.